HSBC Sevens made their newest announcements going into 2024-2025 season. And I feel like this is the first time they're really bringing energy. Like they're really trying to be able to be like, okay, we're going to jump on this Olympic wave because we got stars now, all right? We got Moneta, we got Ilona, we got Michaela, we got Michaela Blight. Mind you, it's everybody that we've always seen that's there, but now we're featuring them. We're going to feature them. And within this feature comes where the games are going to get played. And I felt like this was something worth talking about because of the fact that the locations, hopefully not fully completed yet, were a little bit head scratching in terms of where it's going to be played at. So HSBC Sevens made their announcement for their first 5 games, essentially. And it turns out one location is still missing on this, and very questioning on what the date of this is going to be. So they made it where they have, all right, it is Dubai is going to, it looks like it's near the kickoff. Again, there's still September date. I think that's supposed to be opening up September, October date. So, but this obviously isn't the finalized, but they said this is the first 5 events. So maybe so. So you have Dubai that's happening in the end of November, beginning of December to kick it off. You're going out to Cape Town directly afterwards in December 7th and 8th next week. You go down to Perth, January 24th and 26th. And then you have Vancouver, February 21st and 20 to the 23rd. And then you go to Hong Kong in March 28th and 30th. And this is really interesting because where's LA Sevens? Where's Singapore? Now, typically, if you guys know, like Hong Kong Sevens usually is about closer to the end. Singapore usually closes out. And then obviously they had, like last year, they have a combination area to do it. Now, I don't know if they're fully completed on announcing the destinations, but one major one that really shot off for me is the fact that there's no LA after or before Vancouver. And if you guys know, they usually layer these things out so that the travel time isn't too harmful. So whenever you're on one part of the world, you can just quickly jump down to the next part. That's why you have like Dubai and Cape Town. That's the same. Typically, they would have like Perth and Auckland going on around the same time. And then Vancouver and LA or Las Vegas would be there. And then Hong Kong and Singapore are relatively close to each other. So the fact that they haven't announced that these are part of it is a little unsettling to me. I don't, and if they are planning to announce it, I don't quite understand what is the intent that they are having behind the way that they're going to be announcing this. It doesn't seem like it makes any logical sense to do this. Like drop it out so people can set up the entertainment. The entertainment value that you want to bring is with the players and the stories, not the locations. Like, don't play games with the locations, but also you don't take away the rugby from the USA. So there are talks that they're supposed to be possibly moving the Sevens tournament from LA to possibly North Carolina. There's been rumors about them going to Vegas. There's been talks about it maybe going down to Austin. Again, I think maybe Premier Rugby Sevens might be part of the lead in trying to search for a proper location. But and if you don't know why they might be leaving LA is because as I've heard from sources and friends and kind of piecing the conversation together, LA has not been a desirable location for the HSBC Sevens Series. The parking situation is horrendous. They don't feel like there's enough good fields, especially for the practice fields. And I don't think that they feel like there's enough. The stadium, I think the stadium is fine, but I think everything has been about the fields around it, the practice facilities, and being able to properly execute a full training plus rugby. So, moving, that was the same issue that Las Vegas had. Las Vegas's situation was the stadiums were deteriorating, the practice fields were deteriorating, but you have things like the Invitational, the LA Invitational, Las Vegas Invitational that also plays on those subsequent fields as well. So, these are all clusters. And then I think also USA Rugby wants to continue to bring the rugby competition closer to their home base. If you guys don't know, USA Rugby's headquarters moved from Glendale, Colorado, over to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I think USA Sevens wants to bring it out there. There are facilities that can work for it. I remember the old rugby center that was out there. Charlotte obviously has a growing population. I don't know if it hits the same as saying I'm going to Los Angeles as it is to be like I'm going to Charlotte. So I think there's a marketing issue that goes with it. But whatever the decision is, I hope they make it, because you can't skip the US out of this. Not for the men or for the women. You can't do that, because it's too much. There's too much laying on there. There's money, especially now as you're leading into LA 2028. Over the course of the next 4 years, you don't want to be missing times on talking to these sponsors, and it's wild. So I don't know what's going to happen, but this is what the conversations are looking like right now. So let me know what you guys think. What do you guys feel is going to be the situation, or how do you feel like this is going to be able to play into the success and what we build off of the Sevens tournament and what that goes? I want to hear it.
Don't you love a great ketogenic family? My name is Gifte Belu. I'm here with Health Enhanced Food. I wanted to talk to you about one of our top baking mixes, and that is our ketogenic baking mixes. We got our ketogenic seed baking mix, our ketogenic almond baking mix, and of course, our ketogenic coconut baking mix. Now, what is so important about it being ketogenic? Now, for those who don't know, ketogenic means that it is utilizing low carbs to be able to eat from. The point of it is so that your body will naturally activate burning from your fat and be able to sustain off your proteins, rather than feeding your body carbohydrates and your body simply burning that and you just don't lose weight. And so whenever you're doing that process, it's incredibly difficult. And of course, you're always going to have a craving for wanting to eat the breads and the carbs that you typically would have. With our keto baking mixes, you can have the pancakes, the waffles, the cookies, the cakes, the pizza crust that you absolutely desire without sacrificing the work, your diet, and obviously the results that you are trying to get. All our ketogenic baking mixes are gluten-free, grain-free, plant-based, and absolutely loaded with natural vitamins and minerals. We want to make sure that they are low net carb, they have no added sugar, they are protein rich, they have good healthy fats, but even more importantly, they have a low glycemic level. So for those who are diabetic and you're also still trying to find something, we have the baking mixes that are for you. And I'm sure you're wondering, why make 3 versions of them if they all are basically doing the same thing? Well, we wanted to make sure, as always, that we are trying to specialize to your dietary need. So with our ketogenic coconut, we wanted to give you a version that allows you to have a sweeter bread without sacrificing your diet. But it provides you things that you can make with your cakes, you can make your cookies, but you can be able to not have to lose your mind trying to find things that can satiate the taste without ruining your diet. With our ketogenic almond baking mix, that is one that has probably the highest protein content. It allows you to be able to control your blood sugar levels, reduce your blood pressure, lower cholesterol levels, and of course, it goes to promoting weight loss and being able to control the hunger. And for our ketogenic seed, this is for those who have a nut allergy and they can't take anything like the almonds. So we want to give them still the same thing. You can still make your bread, you can still make your pizza crust, you can still make your cakes and your buns and your muffins, but you don't have to worry about having an allergic reaction. You definitely can go check out the ketogenic line of products at healthenhancedfoods.com. Go ahead, keep up with your diet, get the foods that are necessary to keep you going, and let's get the results that you absolutely deserve. Let's go.